Hi, this is Ryan with Pblcty coming to you from our offices at Contra Studios. Today we are in conversation with a man who needs no introduction, but he's going to get one, Mr. Brian McKnight. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you.
More about you. You recently released a new EP, More Than Words. Congratulations on that. And Colby Kelly actually co-wrote the title track, More Than Words. How was that collaboration? What went into that?
It's a funny thing, we were on an airplane and I heard them talking about music and we started talking.
Did you recognize her?
Well, here's the thing. Okay. I said to her, hey, so do you have any albums out?
No.
I knew the name,
right, of course,
but I didn't expect it to be in that particular package.
Sure.
And she laughed, and then we got.
Did she recognize you?
She did. So that's what made it even worse.
That's very flattering, though.
Like she knows me, I didn't know, and then I said, you know what, let's get together, let's write something. And she came by, and we wrote that tune, and it was fun.
Yeah, I noticed on your Twitter actually also that someone had asked you if you've been featured on any songs. You said no one's really asked recently. We know you've done some features. Right. Is there someone right now who's an artist who you would like to work with?
You know, I'd work with just about anyone as long as we have the same sort of goals. And you know, I really enjoy working with me. I'm my favorite artist to work with.
And you produce the entire album.
Yeah.
So if you get mad at the producer, how do you settle that?
It's tough.
You look in the mirror.
It's a very internal situation that happens. But between myself and my two boys, BJ and Nico, we are sort of the brain trust to make these records.
And they've actually co-written several songs with you over the past few years. And I asked you off camera because I'm always really curious about what the established star learns from the young bucks. Right. What do you learn from your sons, or what did you learn most recently from your sons when you're working with them?
Well, I rely on them to know how things are supposed to sound for 2013. Okay. Because I'm not listening to the radio. I'm not really understanding the music of today, and they are. And I'm not necessarily trying to compete with the music of today, but sonically, it has to sound as good. So they're very good at letting me know that we can't do it like this, we need to do it like this, and we have to have these sounds, because everything's inside the computer now. Sure. I went kicking and screaming into the 21st century because I still was like, well, set up a drums here, bass there, and let's go for it. Like, no, man, we got these machines
We should have set that up instead of the ping pong table.
Yeah, you know.
You would have felt more at home.
More at home. Well, I don't know.
No, we'll see.
But yeah, they know today's music. So it's the combination of what I've always done with today's technology that they help me to bridge that gap.
It's amazing that you can let a little bit of, of that control go. Because that can be difficult as an artist and as a producer to have faith in your sons to be on the cutting edge. And did it take some time for that to happen?
No, not really, because when they lived in the house with me, I heard the stuff they were doing because the studio was in the house. Now that they have their apartment, we use the Dropbox for everything. When I finish something, it's in the Dropbox, and they can grab it from their apartment, and they do it over there, and they send it back. And
Dropbox is so happy right now with your product plug. And you're going on tour.
Always on tour. I'm in the touring business. I'm not really in the record business. I make records, but I think this year will be right around 100, 110 shows. Okay. Next month,
in October, you're starting up again, correct?
Well, I've slowed down in the summer, mostly to play golf, but that's a whole other discussion.
Yeah, I'd like to actually talk about that off camera, because now you have my interest entirely, really.
We have LA and Northern California at the end of this month. Next month we go to South Africa, then to Australia, then to Europe and Asia, and then back to and then we have another full 16-city tour here in the U.S. in November.
Now, you've also been, like I said in the intro, you've been nominated for countless awards between, BET Awards, Grammys, Soul Train. A lot of nominations, some wins. Right. Was there any one particular award that you did not win that hurt a little bit more than the others?
No, I don't make records for awards.
Great.
Now there are some that are more special to me than others. A Billboard Award is what you actually do on the charts. So having that one is great. The American Music Award that I have came from the fans.
Did you win a style award or something like that?
I got some style awards.
Yeah, I was like, that's a cool award.
I think I used to have all of the records up on the walls of my house of all of the records that have sold and things, and it got to be almost like, hey, look what I did.
Right.
I took most.
Well, when you accomplish as much as you have to put on rooms, I guess, to have more wall space to put stuff.
It was getting to that point. So I took them down.
I remember. I'm never really sure when I meet a musician or an artist or even an athlete who has a lot of accomplishments, because you're not sure what the ego is going to be like. I remember walking into Winter Park, Florida. The NSYNC guys were from there. One of the guys from NSYNC was building his house out, and one of the rooms was finished. And I said, "What's that down there?" He's like, "Oh, that's one of our platinum records." And I was like, "You and I are going to get along just fine." It's just hanging out on the floor.
Yeah, I have one in my closet. the back of one, the first one, the double platinum's in my closet right now. just
Double
sitting
platinum.
there.
In the closet.
Yeah.
Doesn't have them displayed prominently. I love that. Been there, done that.
No, the ones that are up. I mean, there's a Songwriter of the Year from '99. I was real proud of that. There's Timberlake's first solo album.
Mm-hmm.
That was, there's a couple. There's a shot in that room of the first time I sold out Radio City. It's just a nice panoramic photo of that. So
one of the 5 iconic arena, if not the most iconic in New York City, in my opinion, from a small venue standpoint. Obviously, you could say Madison Square Garden, but
yeah, I mean, we
Radio
played
City
the Garden. Sometimes it's the ones that are overseas. Though we played Taiwan for 50,000 people that don't speak English. That was an amazing night because we just didn't think, we're leaving and they're trying to turn the bus over while we're. I just like, I'm like, hey, they're like, what? Oh, so
turn the bus over. What is that gonna? That
I
never
didn't
made
know.
any sense to me.
I had no idea what was going on, but they loved it, and it was really fun.
And have you played Apollo and
played the Apollo,
BB Kings or anything?
Played BB Kings actually recently. But again, the fact that people still, after 20-something years, still want to come out in this economy and spend their money to see us is pretty amazing.
On the business side of music, you've released the new album More Than Words with E1. You've also been with several labels in the past, with Warner, et cetera. From a business side, transitioning labels, what goes into that choice and decision-making process? I know it's a lot, but ultimately...
Sometimes really it's who's writing the check right then.
Okay.
These days, for me, an album is more promotional. Than it used to be for the tour. I have something new to talk about. Sales, I mean, with downloads and how people get everything for free, you probably drive yourself crazy trying to continue to play the numbers game where that's concerned. So I make records. I really make them for me. I always have. I hope that people like the music that I create because I like it. And that formula's been working for the last couple of decades.
And how did that initially drive you crazy with the evolution of technology, how people were stealing music? Or did you have like a Metallica, Lars Ulrich sort of feeling about it years ago?
I sort of saw it coming. I was mad that the record companies didn't see it coming. And unfortunately, once the cat's out of the bag, it's very difficult to put the cat back into the bag. Sure. So you just learn how to adapt. You figure out a way to continue to make a living in this business despite the pitfalls that are happening.
Well, Brian, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you being with us in conversation.
You got it.